What's going on, hikers? In today's video, I'm going to give you 5 beginner mistakes that you could make on trail. If you're new to the channel, my name is Jeremiah Stringer, and here we talk about all things hiking and backpacking. So if you're into that kind of thing, consider subscribing. Yes, we've all made our fair share of mistakes. I know I've made many of these, and if you've been hiking for a while, you probably made some of them too. Let me save you some pain and agony if you haven't experienced these mistakes. These are in no particular order, starting with number 1, kicking yourself. Yeah, I picked this title because it sounds better than poor shoe choice. You get it. Kicking, feet. Yeah, you get it. So, my first backpacking trip, I went to my local shoe store and I said, I need a pair of hiking boots. I'm about to go on a backpacking trip for 4 days. I'm like, okay, follow me. I said, which one of these are on sale? And they said, all right, here you go. Tried them on. I was like, these are okay. I guess I'll take them. Plus they're on sale, so I'm saving some money. Brought them home. Size 14. Thought they'd work. That's about what size I wear, just around. And started backpacking. Got 10 miles in on my first day. First time I'd ever worn them backpacking. First time I'd been backpacking. And took them off and I was like, man, my feet are big. And not just big because they're big, but these feet are swelled up. They're not fitting in my shoes properly. So I would suggest whenever you go to buy your shoes, make sure you get the right size by possibly going after you've worked all day if you've been standing a lot. And that's going to give you an idea of how much your feet are going to be swelled while you're out backpacking. Another thing to consider is you could go up a half size or maybe even a full size depending on the shoe brand. Like now, I've been using Ultras and going with the Trail Runner instead, and I get a size 15, which is around the size that I would normally wear, but about a half size bigger. Number 2, everything but the kitchen sink. The other day I was going through some old papers and I found a list of everything, even my food that I took on my first backpacking trip. And I thought, man, I brought everything but the kitchen sink. I may make a video of that on the future. Let me know if you'd want to see that. Going through and taking a specific look on each item that I brought on the first trip. I brought duplicates of all kinds of stuff. Stuff I didn't need. I don't know if I thought I was going out there to be Bear Grylls or what. Survivor, man. And, after looking back, I was like, why would I ever need any of this? So, don't bring everything but the kitchen sink. I would suggest doing small backpacking trips, especially if you're starting out, and then make a checklist of everything you brought. And when you get home, checklist off or check mark off the stuff that you actually used, and then maybe put a tally next to the things that you didn't use. And if you take an item on 2 or 3 trips and you haven't touched it, you probably don't need to bring that item anymore. Number 3, gear know-how. Guys, you got to know how to use your gear. So I made this mistake. I get out there and I try to set something up or use something, and I'm like, wait, I didn't bring the instructions with me. I don't even know if I know how to use this. So save yourself some hassle. Try it out at home. You may find that it's a piece of gear that you never would actually use on trail. It looked like a good idea at the store, and then you get home and you try it out and you're like, why did I ever buy this? I'm taking it back and getting my money back. Number 4, too much to chew. Sometimes we bite off more than we can chew. I've been there. I've actually gotten injured on trail while doing that, trying to hike too many miles. It could be physical. It could be something like, hey, you know what? I think I'm going to go hike this 14,000 foot mountain, and each day I'm going to do 15 miles a day. Well, I physically can't do it. My physical abilities will not allow me to do that. Or it could be mental. I've been on trail, especially on a through hike, and people have had to bail out because their mind is just not in it. They say things like, this trail has beat me up so much, I'm just mentally not checked in, I'm done, I'm going to bail. And you got to do what's best for you. So make sure you're not biting off more than you can chew whenever you're scheduling out what trail you're doing. Number 5, cotton kills. I'm serious on this one. Cotton, you get it wet, it loses all of its insulation value. You get soaking wet out there wearing cotton, it gets cold, you can die from hypothermia. I made the mistake of bringing cotton socks whenever I went on my first backpacking trip, and those actually wore through. There were literal holes in the socks by the time I was done. And what you could do to avoid this whole cotton situation, is wear synthetic clothing or a wool blend. Especially my socks, I always go with the wool blend. My shirts, I'll normally wear something like this, an athletic tee or an athleisure, and then underwear and pants also synthetic. I want to hear some of the mistakes that you've made while you've been on trail. So if you would share in the comments below, what are some of the biggest mistakes that you've made while backpacking? Folks, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure you like, subscribe, and kick that notification bell for the latest notification. We'll see you in the next video.